-7 and put it in right here. So if I take -7 and put it in here, I actually get 7 minus 4, which is 3, right? So when I put in -7, I got 3. So my first dot is going to be at this point -7, 3. So
that thing there, your -7 is always going to be your, or that spot there is always going to be your x.
And it will be. It will be. I think we better count these by 2's, this graph by 2's, because I can foresee something weird happening here. So let's count this by 2's. Okay, negative y's as well. So the point -7, 2 would be -2, -4, -6, -7, 3 would be about here. Oh, you're right, it is open, and I made mine closed. Shame on me. Good job, Natalie. There we go, that's open circle right there. Okay. And now we know this stuff is happening when x is less than -7. So when x is less than -7, it's happening on this side, because these are your x values that are less than -7. So from that point, my slope is?
-1 over 1.
Okay, so to which way?
To the left.
So you want a positive?
A slope of -1 is either -1 over 1 or 1 over -1.
We want 1 over.
So do you want to go up 1 and to the left 1?
No.
Probably,
Yes.
because we want this stuff to happen over here, don't we? So we probably do. So let's go up 1 would be just to the line though. Up 1 and to the left 1. Up 1 to the left 1. Up 1 to the left 1. So our line looks like that.
What does like this say?
I believe, right?
Yep. Are you sure? Because I go up 1. Oh, I get what 1 equals.
Yeah, it's counted by 2, so you have to be careful. Okay? Okay, the next function I need to consider is f of x equals 5x minus 1. And that is happening between -7 and 0. So with this one, it's happening between -7 and 0. So it's happening in between my fingers here. Okay? Somewhere in this interval. I don't know where it is, but it's happening somewhere in this column, if you will. With this one, I don't know what we should put in for x. I mean, we could put in any value we wanted that's between -7 and 0 for it to come out even, but I think I'm just going to go ahead and graph my my y-intercept, which is -1, because that's right on 0, right? And that means that will be a dot. Okay. And then my slope from there is a slope of 5 means
Up 5 over 1.
up 5. Which way over?
Well,
That would be in the middle.
over
Yeah,
would be to the
that
right.
would be in the middle
So you'd
of the
have to
line.
go down 5
Okay.
to the left.
So because a slope of 5 is the same thing as -5 over -1 or +5 over +1, right? And we realize if we went 5 over 1, we're not going to be in this interval.
You have to move your little dot up in
Oh,
halfway.
thank you. Thank you. That's 2 screw-ups in the last minute. It's bad. Okay. Okay, so from here we're going to decide we're going to go down and to the left.
Yeah.
Down 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and to the left 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and to the left 1. So it's happening
Oh my gosh.
like this.
Since it's between this and this, would it stop?
it would stop when we got to 7, wouldn't it?
That's a long. That's gonna be super
Yeah,
long.
we can't even. They didn't give us a nice graph for this, did they?
No, not really.
No. But we realize that it's going to stop right underneath here, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, you're right.
And
It would
it's
stop
gonna be a
underneath
solid
there.
point.
hmm
Wow.
So we probably do want to put that there. And then for f of x is 2x plus 1 when x is greater than 0,
So put 0.
I'm going to put 0 in right there. When I put 0 in there, I get 1. So my first point is going to be at 0, 1. Over 0, up 1, and it's going to be a open circle.
Wouldn't that be though? Because you put your 0 in for x,
hmm
and so it'd be 0 times 2, so
Which
you
is
get 0
0.
plus 1.
Which is 1.
Oh, right, yeah, okay, yeah.
And then this line has a slope of,
2 over 1.
so can I rise 2, run 1 to the right?
Mm-hmm.
Rise 2, run 1 to the right. Be careful. Rise 2, 1, run to the right. Rise 2, run 1 to the right. It's going to look something like this. And the last thing we have to do for number 2
Domain is all real numbers.
is find our domain. Another way you can find domain, if you don't like looking at a graph, we'll see if anybody gets this, okay? If you don't like looking at the graph, now the graph for the domain, again, is just, can it go wide to the left? Yes, because of that, right? And does the graph go wide to the right? Yes, because of that. And then does it have any gaps in the middle? And we almost see a gap there, but we realize that continues on down here, right? So there is no gap. So the domain is all real numbers.
So there is a space between these little guys.
What little guys? Oh,
0, 0.
for your range?
Yeah.
Okay, but for domain, the other thing you can consider is there any value that you're not allowed to put in for x in this? I mean, can you put fractions in where x is?
Yeah.
Can you put decimals in where x is?
Yeah.
Could you put square roots in where x is?
Yeah.
I mean, the other way to think about it is there's something that's illegal about putting a number in here? No. So your domain is all real numbers.
Well, but it
Okay.
shouldn't be. Oh, yeah. Wait, never mind.
Okay? And then your range on this one, Kara has already decided, is when you look at this, there's a graph happening anywhere above this pink sheet of paper. You can see a graph anywhere and extending on upward from this pink sheet of paper. And you can see a graph from this pink sheet of paper down below this graph. I'm considering the tallness of this graph now, this way. But there is a gap
Oh, boy.
where a graph does not exist between there and there, right? There is no graph there, right? So what I'm going to say when I name my domain is
Yeah.
f of x, the set of all f of x such that f of x is above
3 or 1.
1, or f of x is below
It would be below or equal to.
-1.
or equal to -1.
You're the one that goes downward stops.
Oh, you are right. You are right.
Yeah.
This one stops, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So it's got to be between here and here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Something a native said.
So instead of this, we're going to have to say f of x is between -1. Oh, -7 is a low number, isn't it? -7 and -1 it can equal -7 because of that sign right there. And it also
Equal -1.
equals -1. That's right. So that was there. My bad. Thank you, Riley, for bringing that to my attention.
I don't like those.
Okay, that is the third miss in 5 minutes. Wow. They didn't make these easy to start out with, did they?
No.
No.
No, they did not.
Does that mean they get easier later?
We're just going to get so used to doing the hard one. It's like when Perry taught me how to horseback ride. He took me up the steepest banks and down the steepest ravines and through the thickest brush because then I could ride anything. Have I ever ridden a horse since?